Welcome. India Bloc after 2025 vice presidential elections statistics came out yesterday. Of course, CP Radhakrishnan, he won with majority of 150 votes. But according to me, I think India Bloc got boosted up comparatively with 2022. Obviously, comparatively with 2019. In 2024, India got more seats. So obviously 22 to 25 there will be figure changes. But whatever, if we ignore the 2024 general elections, but if we compare previous elections to now the present elections 2025, the morale of India Bloc must be definitely boosted up. I'll tell you why. Let us see the comparison between India Bloc candidates in 2022 and 2025. I'm only comparing the two candidates from NDA Bloc. Jagdeep Dhankarji in 2022 and 2025 CP Radhakrishnan. If we compare these two, Jagdeep Dhankarji, he received in 2022 528 votes. But in Radhakrishnan got 552 votes only. That means there are 76 votes less. Definitely we can understand that. Jagdeep Dhankar, his opponent, Margaret Alva, she got 182 votes. But remember now, the opponent Sudarshan Reddy got 300 votes. 118 more votes to opponent. Comparatively with Jagdeep Dhankar, during Jagdeep Dhankar, opponent got only 182 votes. But now Sudarshan Reddy got 300 votes, 118 more than what actually the opponent got in. And the victory margin is 346 votes during Jagdeep Dhankar. 346 votes margin. But here the margin is only 152 votes margin. And that is the lowest in any presidential elections. That means this is the lowest in any presidential elections. We can understand that Sudarshan Reddy he created a record that it is the lowest margin a vice president candidate lost the election. That definitely that record goes to Sudarshan Reddy here, India Bloc candidate. 74.37% Jagdeep Dhankar got. But whereas he got only 60% of votes. 14% less than what Jagdeep Dhankar got. Opponent got 25% only in 2022, but now the present opponent Sudarshan Reddy got 40% of votes. 15% more than what his previous Margaret Alva got. So this is another achievement that Sudarshan Reddy got, that 15% extra votes he could achieve. NDA is led by Bharatiya Janata Party. So if we ignore Bharatiya Janata Party, other than Bharatiya Janata Party, partners in NDA, 124 votes in 2022, a non-BJP NDA parties, they got only 110 votes now, 14 less than 2022. Comparatively with the previous one, simply we can say that Radhakrishnan got 76 votes less than Dhankar, 118 votes his opponent got more than these previous contestant Margaret Alva, and 194 less victory margin, 14% less percentage votes he got comparatively Dhankar, 14 votes lesser than comparatively Jagdeep Dhankar in 2022 from non-BJP parties. So in any angle, if we understand that definitely there is a downfall comparatively with Jagdeep Dhankar. That's one comparison we can understand. Let's understand the other comparison here, India Bloc comparison. India Bloc, Sudarshan Reddy, he definitely created some positive vibes in India Bloc. Margaret Alva, she got only 182 votes in 2022, but Sudarshan Reddy, he received 300 votes now. Definitely better than 2022. During that time, opponent got 528, but now Sudarshan Reddy could restrict only up to 452 votes. Definitely there is an achievement comparatively previous election. loss margin is 346 votes in 2022. He could restrict loss margin to 152 votes, and remember, this is the lowest loss margin in any vice presidential elections so far. That means that record goes to Sudarshan Reddy. 152 is the least loss margin so far we can understand in any vice presidential elections. Percentage is 25.63%, but he got 40% of votes now. The India Bloc led by Congress Party got 79 MP seats in both the houses in 2022. That means non-Congress votes 103 votes in 2022. In 2022, non-Congress votes, they got only 1 or 3 votes. But remember now, non-Congress votes to India Bloc, he got 191 votes, 988 votes more than previous election. This definitely reflects the strength of opposition bloc and the strength of unity of India Bloc, 100%. Because comparatively 2022, they got only 103 votes from non-Congress parties. Here 191 non-Congress parties voted to India Bloc. Definitely it's a good sign for India Bloc, we can understand. Let's compare Sudarshan Reddy versus Radhakrishnan ji. Radhakrishnan ji, he received 452 votes, 76 votes less comparatively 2022. He received 300 votes, 112 more comparatively 2022. That means Sudarshan Reddy got more votes and Radhakrishnan got less votes comparatively previous election. Here the loss margin is 152-94, lesser than the previous election. Percentage is 14%, 60% he got here, that means 14% less. He got 40%, means 15% more than the previous election. Now comparatively, Bharatiya Janata Party MPs 342 votes and non-BJP votes 14 less. He achieved 14 less from non-BJP votes. He achieved 88 more from non-Congress votes. Other than these votes, he also could be able to unite the India Bloc. Post-election, there are some issues with Congress versus Aam Aadmi Party. There is a rift between Congress and Trinamool Congress in West Bengal. Congress and CPIM rift in Kerala. Amidst of these rifts, he could be able to gather. Even though Aam Aadmi Party did not patch up with Congress, there are allegations that Aam Aadmi Party voted to NDA, but there is no proof. But they did not come out and they say that we voted to Bharatiya Janata Party. That means there is a chance that Aam Aadmi Party also might have voted to India Bloc or something else, but they did not openly come out and say that. Means at least they could be able to. Aam Aadmi Party is not so eagerly open to say that we are not part of India Bloc. Of course, they are not part of India Bloc. They declared that we are out of India Bloc, but they are not in favor of NDA. They did not openly say that we are favor of NDA. That they could be able to restrict that. And the Congress and Trinamool Congress looked that they both patched up because of Sudarshan Reddy. That means there is a good sign that Congress and TMC became one for this election. And Congress and CPIM also, it looks that they became one. They voted to Sudarshan Reddy. So whatever, Naveen Patnaik from Orissa, BRS, KCR from Telangana, Shiromani Akali Dal from Punjab and Joram Party from Mizoram. So these four parties, they took neutral stand. They said we are skipping from the election. That means they're skipping from the election. It itself says that they're not part of NDA also. When they are not part of NDA also, there is a chance that they may or may not come with India Bloc, that 50-50 chance. So definitely they're not part of NDA. That's a good sign. Ideology is strengthened because of this Sudarshan Reddy. He focused speeches on Constitution of India, secularism, social justice. Sudarshan Reddy and India Bloc focused on this spoke on secularism, Constitution of India, socialism, wherever they go. they were speaking on the similar line of secularism, Constitution of India and socialism. And they carried the red book, Constitution of India, a pocket book in their pockets wherever they in all meetings. And they focused on the speeches around SC, ST, BC, Adivasi, suppressed communities and the constitution and employment to the youth. And then they criticized BJP and RSS ideology. Obviously, of course, they are the opponents, so they will criticize. This is what Sudarshan Reddy could be able to gain through this election. So it's not that he lost. He did so many things through this election to the India Bloc. The great contribution he has done to the India Bloc. But here, amidst of all these allegations, but there is a talk about cross-voting. Definitely cross-voting might have taken place because Sudarshan Reddy is supposed to get 315 votes, but he got only 300 votes. After election over, before counting, Jairam Ramesh posted in his X account that we are going to at least 315 votes, our candidates voted to Sudarshan Reddy. There's confirmed votes. But ultimately he got only 300 votes, means there are 15 votes not recorded for Sudarshan Reddy. Remember, there are invalid votes exactly 15. Can we say that these 15 which Sudarshan Reddy lost, are they exactly invalid votes of 15 are from India Bloc? That possibility may be or may not be there. Optimistically, let's say that at least 50-50 invalid votes. Out of 15, let's assume 50% belong to India Bloc and 50% belong to NDA. Even in that scenario, there is 7 to 8 votes definitely cross-voted. Aam Aadmi Party MP Sanjay, he commented that the opponents got 14 votes extra. Why he said this is the calculation for opponent, why he got 14 votes extra? Because the Radhakrishnan got 452 votes, NDA had 425 votes they have, and YSRCP supported, so there are 11 MPs from YSRCP from Andhra Pradesh, and then it became 436 votes in total, and plus 2 others also supported to NDA, and total it became 438 votes, but they got 452. That means they got 14 extra. That is what actually Aam Aadmi Party Sanjay, he said, the opponents got 14 extra votes and 13 people skipped the election, like BRS, Shiromani Akali Dal and BJD. I think BJD had some around 7, BRS has 4, and Shiromani Akali Dal has 1 MP, and there is another person, Mizoram, Joram Party has 1 MP, so the total 13 votes absent. So these 13 plus 14, approximately 27 votes down to opponent party. That's what Aam Aadmi Party MP Sanjay commented. When the Sanjay making these statements, probably Sanjay is hinting that we did not do cross voting. That's what Sanjay tried to say, that Aam Aadmi Party did not do cross voting, somebody else did. Many political parties part of India Bloc and who might have done that 7 to 8 votes cross voting. When the allegations of cross voting is only around 7 votes.